topic to talk about with our guest, Mohamed Salah. And I'd just like to give a brief intro because it's very interesting. He's the only therapist in the entire Middle East and the only Arabic speaking certified provider for something called TRE, and that's Trauma and Tension Release Exercise. And it's fascinating. Welcome to the show, Mohamed. I'm very honored to have you here.
Thank you, Modia.
Thank you for being here. So, can you define the word trauma? Some people are afraid of it, and some people want to be victims of it, and all depends on what your mindset is. So, just tell me, what is the definition of trauma, and is it really trauma that we suffer from? Different kinds.
So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Trauma, anything happened to you in different stage in your life that overwhelm your nervous system, overwhelm your thinking brain.
Yeah.
So you cannot cope with it. So you use some coping mechanism. So for
Okay.
example, if I was a kid and I came to play with the people, with the kids like me for football, and they told me, no, you cannot play with us. This is traumatic.
It could be that simple.
Yes.
That it's
Yes,
traumatic.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Losing attention with my parents may be traumatic. If you wake up 3 years old, you find no one in home. This is very
And you
traumatic.
cry, you cry your
cry.
eyes out.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
You know what? But with the trauma, I'm glad you said that because we belittle trauma.
Yeah.
And this is a problem in our culture and in the world in general. I think parents are maybe hard on their kids and they could belittle it. And, oh, it's okay. ما فيها حاجة إيش يعني.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
And then it internalizes. Is that where it comes in?
Yes. When you suppress this feeling, it's gonna stay with you. So when you have rejection in your childhood, and you grow up, and then you send me a message, and I read it in WhatsApp, I didn't reply to you, so you go to this core belief that you develop from
You
this
go back
trauma.
to that suppressed feeling.
Yes.
Interesting.
He doesn't like me. People use me. You know, I'm too.
And all
I'm
that
not
sabotage,
enough.
negative talking,
Right.
and
Yeah.
bad feelings.
It came
Interesting.
from that small trauma, but that big in that time, because our thinking brain is very small at that time. So, and the more we grow, the more the thinking brain is gonna grow, and we're gonna be mature, so we can.
What do you mean by thinking brain? Like, what do you mean by
Okay, so the brain, we have the three parts of the brain. We have brainstem, we have the subconscious mind, and we have the thinking brain. This is the human brain.
So the brainstem does the breathing and the sleeping and the
Right,
hunger,
right.
the body functions.
Yes.
And then what was the second one?
The subconscious mind, emotion brain,
Emotional brain,
Also
which
is-
is like fear, hate.
it's an emergency center for us.
Okay.
So tell us this is safe, this is not,
Not safe. Okay.
And this is what the gut feeling also. Sometimes you have this feeling like I don't want to do this,
Yeah.
and thinking brain
Says no, you have to do it.
yes, and then you end up.
Like coming on radio. I
Yes.
don't want to do that.
Well, I like to talk.
I'm glad. خد راحتك. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. So your thinking brain is the one that makes it logical. We shouldn't think that
Right,
way, or we
right.
shouldn't do that way. And then the other brain, the primitive brain, is the one that reacts.
Yes.
Okay, so where does the trauma fall in here?
So okay, for example, anything happened to you, and the subconscious mind detect it as a danger.
Yes.
So he gonna start the emergency case. It's like a hazard everywhere. So he bumping the heart.
Yeah, pump your heart up, get your blood flowing.
Yeah, cortisol, adrenaline, gonna be all your body. And then after you feel safe, another system gonna work up. There's two systems: sympathetic nervous system, it's a speed up
Yeah.
for fight or flight,
Yeah.
or we have the parasympathetic nervous system.
Parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's-
that's a mouthful. Parasympathetic nervous
Yes,
system,
this is for slowing down.
which is slowing down.
Right.
Okay.
So because have you ever seen someone angry and sleeping at the same time? He fighting and suddenly
You got the sleepy.
So okay,
I gotta go to bed.
I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna fight tomorrow.
Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah, no, not all the time.
No, they wear themselves out.
Yeah.
But when you're fighting in the act, of course, you can't just
Yes,
suddenly
yes,
fall
yeah,
asleep.
Yeah, you can have this heart beating and then you.
Yeah,
suddenly
actually,
sleep.
you lose sleep.
Right.
You can't sleep all night because
Yeah.
you're in that active stage.
Even if you worry, if I'm worried that I'm coming tomorrow for a show, I'm not gonna sleep.
Of course
Yeah.
not. Yeah, because you're reacting to the sympathetic nervous
Yes,
system.
yes.
Okay.
So the cortisol, adrenaline, and the heart pumping, everything's gonna be emergency case. so you cannot relax in that.
So it's the adrenaline and the cortisol
Yes.
that rise up in the blood system.
Yes.
And make us 100% alert.
Yes.
Okay.
And the blood go to the limb.
So of course, to your arms and your legs so that you can run.
Yes. So you saw people, they run from fear, and they never run before.
Right.
And also, you cannot. The more the emotion brain taken over the thinking brain, the less intelligent you become. That's why they say, don't make decisions when you're mad, and don't give promises when you're happy. Both cases, your nervous system is overwhelmed and full of charge.
Right.
So after the event's gone, so you feel that you want to have some shaking, or you're shaking.
Yeah, you always shake. Like
Yeah.
if you have almost a car accident, you shake for the rest of the day.
Right.
You're still shaky, jittery, because you're like, oh, alhamdulillah, I almost got killed. I'm
Yes,
shaky.
Yeah, I'm shaking. But we think the thinking brain define this shaking is something sign of weaknesses. I have problem, and then we try to stop it.
Of course.
Yes.
You just try to control it.
Yes, but it's healthy for the body to shake it. But you cannot shake all the time.
Okay, wait. So let me understand. Okay, so it's a natural reaction to fear.
Yes.
After it's gone and we feel safe, we will start to shake.
Right.
Right? And that shaking is normal.
It's normal, yeah.
I never thought of it that it was actually a normal phase of this thing. So try to control it.
Yes.
And this is where we're going wrong.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we consider there's something wrong.
Right.
Because we learn.
We
this,
learn
yeah.
from society and no,
Yes.
خلاص يعني, just stop.
As crying also.
Crying as
Yeah.
well. We're not allowed to cry.
Yeah.
And just stop. Just
Stop,
get over it.
Suppress it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so basically when we say get over it, we're saying suppress it.
Suppress
It's
it.
another way of saying
yes,
suppress
yes. And that's what causes a lot of things, a lot of depression, anxiety, all this.
it. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of issues.
So, but you cannot shake all the time.
No, of course.
If you are a teacher and you're shaking in front of a student, they're not gonna trust you.
Of course,
Yeah.
because you look weird. And
Yeah,
they're
you
like,
look
what's
weird,
wrong
yeah.
with that?
No. Mohamed told me that you can shake, yeah.
Okay, so what do you do as a therapist? Do you take your client back to that shaking stage?
Yeah, we activate this shaking mechanism, like I can see it's through exercise. Very simple exercise. We're gonna tie the muscle that cause this
Shaking.
contraction. So we just undo this contraction by warming this muscle, and then you end up laying on your back, put your knees in certain position, and then this involuntarily shaking happen. So I'm encourage people, I'm guiding people to see this shaking with a curiosity rather than controlling.
Okay, so let it happen. Let's see where it goes.
And,
Nice.
yeah, let's enjoy it. The body dancing now. It's a party for the body.
Wow, and okay, so when you put me in that shaking stage, do I have to think of the traumatic experience?
No.
I just let it happen.
Yeah, as summarize, I say it's a fun exercise with a serious result. The results coming after.
Fun exercise with serious results.
Right.
That's a first, because most times exercise is not very fun.
Yeah, and it's not, everyone can do it from 12 years old till 90 years. We can modify the exercise for them,
Interesting.
based on your strength of your muscle. And then also we play some music, we do some distraction, because the thinking brain always wants to stop the shake. So he gonna interview with you. He say, okay, Mohammed, you didn't do the exercise well, so you are not gonna shake.
Of course, your mind is always thinking,
Yes.
questioning, doubting, wondering.
worrying.
Yeah.
Mohammed, you don't have to shake.
Yeah, you look
this-
funny.
you
Everybody's
look funny,
staring at
yeah. So I'm encourage people. I say you don't have to you don't have to look cool all the time.
Yeah, you
know?
can look funny
You
sometimes.
look funny, yeah. So yeah, let go.
Right.
So when you let go, and the body is like, if we imagine the muscle tissue is very contracted, very complicated inside, and then the shaking, try to release it. Okay, so it's like a massage from inside. What the massage do is try to release this tension and complexity. So this happens automatically from the body.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is really fascinating. I have never heard of this. I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
And how did you get into this?
Okay, it's a very nice story. I was in Thailand working in rehab center for addiction and mental disorder, and then
You need to face the
yeah,
mic.
okay, and it was a part of the program there because if you come like vulnerable and traumatized, it's hard to, like just talk with you and.
Of course, you have so many things blocking
Right.
up. Mm-hmm.
You cannot tolerate any thinking now.
Mm-hmm.
So we start with the client by regulating the nervous system first, and then we can talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You cannot talk when you're angry.
Yeah, so when people just jump into therapy, it's very difficult to overcome their trauma because they're not engaging the body, and this is where your
Right.
specialty comes in.
Yeah, and it's like now it's the scientists, they focus more in body psychotherapy. It's not the only modality. There is a somatic experience and there's different modality, and there's of course the mind talk therapy.
Of course, yeah.
And they has to work together.
They need to work together.
Yeah, before they separate the mind from the body.
Of course, because for so many years we've been separating the mind and the body. But now I think more knowledge and information and research has proved that we need to treat them together simultaneously.
Yes.
And the professionals need to work together.
Yes, yes.
So your clients, do you know if they seek mental therapy?
Yes,
Health,
of course, yeah.
Both.
Yes,
it's physical
yes,
and mental at the same
yes.
time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a complementary modality, and it's work with the body. Okay, so.
So you do the body part, and then they go to the therapist for the mind part.
So also we teach the client how to identify with their nervous system. Everyone has different nervous system code or activation. Some people go from social engagement to freeze or fight or flight.
From what?
From social engagement.
Social engagement to fight or flight.
Fight or flight or dissociation and freeze. So some people, they have the tendency that they go from social engagement, that's like we have it now.
Yeah.
Empathy, connection, joy. They go for freeze. This is people, they may have an epilepsy, and when they stress, when you see people, they
have a reaction to the situation they're in, and they freeze.
They freeze. These people with
it would be like panic attacks?
It's
like
panic
having
attack,
a panic attack.
Seizure, all this is like
the maximum.
The maximum, yeah. But you go from worry to anger to rage, and then dissociation, daydreaming, and then immobility, and then freeze.
Interesting.
This is the steps of the nervous system.
Okay.
And it's not personal. Everyone has this nervous system, and so we learn the nervous system to regulate again. So if you are, like, I'm a high temper, always, like explode in my life.
Aggressive and
I'm
angry.
Aggressive, yeah.
Okay.
I saw my father like this. Yes, maybe you got it from your father. You inherited.
Yeah, go ahead, because he's indicating that we have a call.
Okay, nice.
So just finish what you're saying real quickly. So you take them back to that anger place and try to resolve it physically.
Physically, we don't try to take it. The body
is gonna do it anyway.
Automatically. Right. We just observe it. We just open for curiosity. And
let it go.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
And because this is happen from the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind.
Okay. So you're putting the body in a relaxed state, so it engage with the subconscious mind, which will automatically go back to that shaking phase and then release it on their own.
Yes, in that cycle that we suppress.
Nice. Yeah. So the body automatically, because I think bodies want to heal. We want to heal.
Yes.
So when we're in our meditative state, we're gonna go to that place that needs to heal automatically.
Right. Yeah.
This is fascinating. Okay, we have a caller. Basim's letting us know. Hello?
Hello, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you, Muddathir? I can always count on you.
I'm so happy to see you on the radio,
Oh, hello, Muddathir. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
So, Muddathir, share your questions and your comments.
Well, before I ask my questions here, I just want to say, I'm very proud and happy to see you and hear you on the radio here. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, thank you.
And you have already answered some of my questions just now, and in the previous 2 sessions. So this time I have a different set of questions here. So, are you ready to hear it with my first question?
Yalla, hit us with it.
Okay, fine. When it comes to TRE here, can you release your stress while you're watching TV?
Oh, so do you have to be in a meditative state, or can you do it?
No. We encourage people to release anytime.
Anytime. But they have to be aware of it.
Now they're gonna be aware.
Once they take the therapy with you, then
Yes,
they're aware of it.
because we're gonna train the subconscious mind and conscious mind to work together.
You know what I do when I get like shaky? I'm like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why am I so shaky
Right.
today? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna take St. John's Wort. I'm gonna take Panadol. I need to take a nap. I suppress it.
You suppress
So
it.
this is where someone like you would teach someone like me
Yes.
not to do that, to
Yes.
just let it happen.
No, you can suppress it that time. I'm not gonna shake in public.
No,
Okay?
not in public.
Yeah,
But like,
but you have the tool now, so you can go home and release it.
okay.
And also the good thing about it is you don't have to know what you release now. You know, sometimes you could just shake. You release something from the past.
That you're not fully aware of. It's in your
Yeah,
subconscious.
this is below our conscious.
Okay.
thing.
So, but Dathir's question about watching TV, you're watching TV, but your subconscious is trying to release.
Yes.
I'm just trying to understand how that balance happens. Because, okay, we might not let ourselves shake in public. We're allowed to suppress it in public.
Yes.
But at home, why is it weird? Can we not shake in public? People stare?
People, they're gonna say,
What's wrong with that
what's
person?
wrong with this person? Yeah.
So maybe this is something you want to do in private.
Yeah. So, and also after the exercise is just to activate your shaking mechanism. After a couple of session, you don't need all this exercise. You start with 2 exercises. It's a 6 exercise. You're gonna start with 2. After a while, you're gonna maybe start with nothing. Maybe I'm sitting with you now. I can start shaking.
But it's happening internally.
Yeah.
Internally.
Internally,
Okay.
and now the thinker brain is working with the emotional brain. Before, the thinker brain tried to suppress this.
Okay, so your conscious and your subconscious start working together,
Together, yeah.
instead of against each other.
Right. Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. So, and sometimes you release that you had a trauma from that thing, and you didn't know after before you release it. You're like, I have this a lot in my life.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You know, when I read your thing, I thought I have a lot of trauma I need to talk to him about,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna share that in a minute. Just let Mudathir finish. Go ahead, Mudathir. What questions do you have?
Okay, so how often does one need to practice TRE in a week?
Okay, thank you. That's a good question. Yeah, we recommend the maximum dose is 3 times a week, not 2 days in a row, not more than 15 minutes.
So you have to initiate it 3 times a week.
Yes.
So that you start to practice it
Yes,
subconsciously.
and the body is gonna used to it. After this, after the body used to it, after they have this
This
peaceful-
connection,
Yeah.
this kind of
they can
system
you can do
going.
it every day. You can do it for half a minute. You can do it 2 minutes.
interesting. And do you feel that once people have done that, they've overcome their traumatic experience, that they don't remember it anymore?
They're gonna detach from the feeling.
Detach.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so exciting. Mudathir, ask your question because I want to ask mine.
Okay, all right, fine. So how does TRE complement with yoga, mindfulness, and other meditation?
Like
exercises?
mind-body things.
Yeah. They are the same concept that connecting the mind with the body. So they help him also because if you release your muscle tension, so you're gonna have more flexibility. And also with the Pilates, sometimes people they shake and they stop it. They say, okay, maybe.
Yeah. Because when
Yeah.
you're exercising, your muscle wants to
I
shake.
encourage people in
To
the
let it
Pilates
shake.
To let it shake.
Let
You
it
are
do
in the
its
gym
thing.
now. You don't have to look cool, so
Let it shake.
Let it shake. Yeah.
Interesting.
So because the muscle try to find.
Yeah, and I
freedom.
think we don't want to communicate with our muscle. You
Yeah.
know, like when I was working out the other day, I was doing this class I've never done before, and I was like, oh my God, I think my muscles are going to collapse. I felt like I was going to
Yes,
fall.
yes.
And I stopped myself. But what you're teaching us is that don't stop yourself. Let yourself,
Let it go.
not fall, but maybe lie down.
Yes,
let
yes.
it do what it needs to do.
Yes.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, because this is a natural reflex. So we allow it to happen.
We should let it happen.
yeah.
Wow, Mudathir, anything else?
Yes, my final question is, what are we not supposed to do when we are doing TRE?
Okay, it's a good question. So yeah, I'm gonna think what not to do. Okay.
I don't think there are any things that you're not supposed to do.
Because you are in control. Also, it's like it's an involuntarily movement, but still you are in control.
You're in control.
Yeah, you're not gonna
You're
be,
voluntarily letting it happen.
yes, you're not gonna be hypnotized and
Okay,
yeah,
so you're still aware.
Yeah.
It's connecting the consciousness with the subconsciousness.
Yes,
I like that.
yeah.
Anything else with Dathir?
Okay.
You want to be on radio so badly. I need to have you back in the studio again.
Not on the radio like I just for. Do you have a session today?
Today no, but
Oh.
yeah.
We were just talking over the music break about the founder. And can you just give me a background? Because
Okay.
I'd love to have him here on radio.
Okay, yeah, he would love to come here. And the founder, his name is Dr. David Persily. He was a social worker, and he was living in Middle East, Lebanon, and Sudan, Yemen.
Nice.
And he was working with people with
Trauma.
in this trauma, and he was noticing that people, they have the same reaction when they are in the shelter, bomb shelter. So they have this
They're all the
contraction
same.
in the fetal position.
Yeah, we can all imagine it because
Yeah.
we've seen it in movies.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you go into a fetal position and
Fetal
you
position,
shake.
and this is automatically happen. You know?
Everybody has the same
Everybody
reaction.
the same reaction. And then when he was in Sudan in the civil war, he was holding kids for 2 years, and then there is a teenage and there is an adult. So he was noticing that the kids, they were shaking, where the teenage, they were having mild shaking.
And the adults were not
The
shaking.
others, they were
Composed and-
composed and suppressed. And then after 2 hours from bombing, he saw the kids, they were playing like nothing wrong, and the adults, they were stiff in their eyes, they were stressed. And he asked him, "What do you feel when the kids shaking?" They say, "We have this shaking, but we suppress it because we don't want to frighten the children."
Oh,
So,
interesting. But
he-
the children are more natural and
It's more
dealing with
natural,
their bodies
yeah.
naturally, and they're letting themselves shake.
Letting themselves.
And the adults were suppressing it. But then after the adults are suffering and the children are okay.
Yes, they suffer from their
Subhanallah. That's
and also,
fascinating.
if you have pets in home, you're gonna notice that the dog's shaking. All the mammals shaking.
Yes, they do shake when
because
they're
they have
afraid.
the same
Reactions.
brain stem and subconscious mind, but we only have the human brain, which is the thinking brain.
The thinking brain.
That he suppressed the shaking. So all mammals, they shake.
And we say in Arabic, نرجف من الخوف.
نرجع من الخوف.
Right.
Or shivering from
Yeah,
cold also.
I was scared to death. I was shaking.
Yeah, when you experience shivering when you are cold.
Cold, yeah.
You feel good, right?
Right, of course, because it
Yeah.
warms me up.
Yes. So
Ah,
this
we
is-
let that happen
we
because
let
we
that
think it's
happen.
positive, but
Yes,
we don't let, with the related to fear, we don't let it happen.
Yes.
We suppress it.
Right.
Right?
So yeah, and like the name of the book say, when the body say no.
When the body says no. And this is David, Dr.
No,
David.
this is the Gabon Mate.
Another.
I like his work. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Dr. David trained you.
Yeah, I trained with his student John McDonald and Lorianne in Thailand.
Nice.
2016.
Nice.
And then it's a big part of the training is my journey through the TRE. So, and then you cannot certify it until they're gonna feel you are safe to teach it.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah, because you don't
Because,
want to share
yeah.
your trauma.
Yes, because the
You have
nervous
to be-
system. If I'm anxious next to you, you're gonna feel anxious. I say,
Of
Mohammed,
course.
stop! Yeah, you make me anxious.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, and if I'm safe, you're gonna feel safe. Oh,
It's contagious.
it's contagious. Yeah.
Nice.
So and then I met Dr. David Persily in last November in Bali. We have an advanced workshop there, and he was so happy to meet me, and he talking Arabic fluently.
Oh, of course, because
Yeah.
he's lived here in
He
this
lived here,
area
yeah,
for
yeah.
so long.
And he said, with the Lebanese accent. Yeah, قال لي أنا بدعي الله إنه ألاقي حدا يجيبني الميدل إيست.
Ya Allah, where
I
he
said,
started.
Yeah,
Where's he from?
He's from America, from
In the
Arizona.
United States,
Yeah.
from Arizona.
Yeah, and I think his background Italian.
Yeah, the name tells
Yeah,
it's
but,
Italian.
So he loved the Middle East a bit because he said, "This is my transformation."
Place
you
where
know,
he transformed.
Yes,
That's
yes.
well, he is welcome to come, and he's invited on my show. So anytime,
Yes.
Dr. David, you're more than welcome to come if you're listening to this. I'd love to have you here in the studio. And you were telling me about your current training and how the training is like we wanted to invite Dr. David, and
Yeah,
we're trying to
yes,
plan
yes.
something so that you have people who would
Yes.
be involved and already
Yes,
trained
yes.
by yourself.
Yes.
And who are the people that you're training?
Okay, okay, around the world we have like maybe we are 4,000 providers, certified providers so far.
Just now, but you're gonna get a lot more, especially after this show.
Yes, inshallah, yeah. And especially, I would like, everyone listening, to try it. And if you want to study it, please study it because...
Definitely. I'm gonna try it because after I let you tell me who you're training, we're gonna talk about my experience.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
What we
the list of people that you're training, like athletes, who benefits
from...
The
athletes, they benefit from, the back and after injury. So the resilience is going to be more smoother. Also, we noticed that a lot of TRE provider, they have background in psychotherapy.
Of course.
Yeah.
And physios. So it's a training and it's a supplement to whatever you're already doing. So if you're a life coach, if you're a psychotherapist, if you're a physiotherapist, this is something to add onto your certifications to give more quality to your clients. So these are the people you're training.
Yes, and also for general public also.
General public.
It's like you don't have to have a background in psychology to study TRE.
Yes, I understand. But if you do, then your background is enhanced by this.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Okay, so back to the example that I wanted to share with you about my trauma. So I was a teenager, maybe around 13 years old, and I was a horseback rider. We used to go horseback riding 2 to 3 times a week, okay? And one day we decided to go on a trail ride in the desert, and this is in Riyadh, right? So we saddled up our horses, and it was my sister and I and one of our riding buddies, and he was training to be an Olympian, and of course he is one of the Saudi horseback riding Olympians today. And he was riding an ex-racehorse. So when you know anything about horses, the little that I know from my experience as a teenager riding horses, race horses are very difficult to ride because they're used to taking off. You can't just suddenly do dressage with an ex-race horse, or because they go. They love to run. So we were out in the desert, the 3 of us, and the ex-race horse was fine because the very strong male rider was riding him, and he's a smart horse. And my sister was riding a horse, and I was riding a weaker horse. But her horse, for some reason that day, was spooked. So he was fidgety, he's like uncomfortable, he's not acting normal, and she was scared. So she asked our colleague to switch horses. Which I think was not smart. Okay, this is where the trauma happens, right? So she gets off her horse in the middle of the desert, and he gets off his horse, and I'm standing there watching the 2 of them, and he tells her, "Give me your horse's reins." And at one point, he was holding both horses, right? So that she could get on to the ex-race horse, right? And it was a split second. Like, my memory is so vivid of that scene because it was so traumatic for me. She got on the horse. The minute she sat down, that horse took off like a bullet. She was gone. And my friend, our colleague, the guy, got on his horse because he had to find where she was going to go. So he went after her. And my horse was scared. It wasn't an ex-race horse. It was just a regular lesson horse. And it got scared. And my horse and I were left behind. So my horse got scared and started running. I couldn't see them. They were gone. It was just desert.
Wow.
Right, so the trauma is
traumatic,
very traumatic. So I'm riding this animal that's taking off, and I don't know where it's going, and all I see is desert and dust and sand. And I remember just my body just became really strong, and I was hanging on to that horse with all of my life. Right. I grabbed onto the reins, I grabbed onto the mane, and I held on with my full power. I could have fallen off. Right? And then And then my horse ran alongside a compound of workers. They were Asian workers, and they're watching this girl on this horse run across their entire compound. So they're all shaking the cages, the walls. They're all, and that scene, I kept thinking, if I fall off the horse, those guys are gonna eat me.
Right,
so it was like
gonna be female.
Right, I was terrified out of my mind. Of course, the horse knew where it was going. He took me straight home. He rode me all the way into his stall. He took me right to his stall, and I just thought, thank God, I should have trusted him, knowing that he was gonna go home, and he knew where he was going. I didn't know where I was going, but And that was fine. It was over. But till today, I can't ride a horse in the open. Like I can ride a horse
Yes, yeah.
in a circle, but if you take me out, I really
Okay,
get nervous.
okay.
And maybe Dana, my friend, our common friend, would
Yes, yes.
would show. She saw that happen. Like I started to get panic when I went out with her on a trail
Okay.
ride. So is this something you can help me with?
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. We don't. One of our things in TRE, we don't say we heal. We help people.
Yeah,
Okay?
so
but
can
people
you-
they get healed. Yeah.
Yeah, we help.
Yeah.
So is it something? Is this the kind of case that you can deal with? So it's in my conscious. It's not in my subconscious.
Yes, and also because if I ask you, now, what's the part of the trigger that in the horse riding now is open area.
Open.
Yeah,
Open area.
Yeah, so it's a trigger
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
So because when something traumatic happened,
Mm-hmm.
the thinking brain couldn't process it. You're
Right.
gonna dump it in the subconscious mind
Right.
with the bits and pieces of the event.
Right.
The smell,
Yeah.
the people, the weather. So wherever you have this,
Even the color of the horse.
the color of the horse.
Yeah.
okay,
If I ride the same color horse, I get scared.
you get scared. So when you see that color, you get
Shaky.
shaky.
Uncomfortable.
Your nervous system is activating. Okay, because this unresolved trauma.
Right.
Okay, but when you in TRE, when we shake, we rewire our subconscious mind again. Okay, so he delete the old trauma. We don't know which order, but we're gonna detach slowly from the feeling.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I had traumatic also with the motorbike accident, and I'm gonna tell you. So every time you're gonna reduce this attachment. Okay.
And reducing the attachment is by just letting myself
Yes, shake it.
shake it.
Because it's,
let me be afraid. It's okay.
Yes.
Just go through the fear
yes,
physically.
Physically, because when you had this event, you were clenching. You were.
Yeah, I was really. I can still feel it. Like all my muscles are.
You can strangle
The horse.
The horse, that time.
I could have.
Yeah.
And the horse was probably thinking,
because,
let go of my
because
neck.
all this blood, came to your hands.
Yeah, and my hands were very strong.
All the energy.
Power.
Yeah. Insulin.
Yes.
So that's why we have this proverbs in Arabic. It say هذا جبل الضغط والسكر.
والسكر.
Yeah.
أيوة.
This could happen from suppress a lot of stress, and you don't solve it.
Interesting.
So what you gonna experience? I don't know. Maybe after 2 weeks from the session, maybe from 1, maybe from 2 years. We don't have exact time because this is a natural mechanism. It's so it's gonna detach the feeling.
So you just let it happen at
Just
its
have
own
it
time.
Yes, because it's a natural mechanism that God gave us. Even the horse, they shake. You saw the horse.
Yeah,
shaking
of
sometimes?
course. Yeah.
So
And my horse started shaking before, because I was oblivious. I'm a human being. I have no idea what the other horses are doing. But I think my horse sensed that horse was going to take off. So when she was getting on the horse, my horse started to shake its legs. And I could
Okay.
feel it. I'm like, what's going on
Right,
here? What are you
right.
doing? And poof, they
yeah,
went.
because he detect this is emergency.
He detected that something
Yes,
was going to
yes,
happen
yes.
with those two horses.
Yes.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, subhanallah, and that's why we don't see a lot of
I didn't-
depression in the dogs or the horse.
Because they let themselves
Yes,
feel
yes,
it and
yes.
they express it on the spot.
Yes, and if we do that, we're gonna feel better more.
Wow. So here we have Mohamed Salah as a advocate for shaking and
Yeah,
shake off
yes.
the fear, shake it
Shake
out.
off the fear.
About TRE, which is trauma and tension release exercises.
Right.
Right. So we just discussed the whole horseback riding thing.
Yeah.
Now, because I'm conscious of it, and the only reason I'm conscious of it was when I read your post and it said trauma, and I thought, oh, I have trauma. That's my trauma.
Yes,
you know. But some people have subconscious trauma,
Right.
and it doesn't matter really, right? Because I want you just to make sure that we understand that during the therapy,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's conscious.
Yes, yes. But we don't have to talk about it. We don't have to remember.
We don't
I
have
encourage people not to remember anything. Just be here and now. Sometimes I play music to engage them with the music.
Yeah, tell me about the music. Is there a specific music?
For me, my style, I use Afro deep house.
Yeah, really. So
Yeah.
that's like not even like relaxing,
No, no.
meditative
No,
or
no.
what you would hear in a yoga classroom or.
No, because if I put them in the meditative situation, maybe they're gonna go back to the trauma.
So you don't want them to go back to the trauma.
No. I want to distract this brain with this Afrobeat because it's gonna be.
Oh, wait a minute, Mohammed. I'm trying to get my mind around this. So you want me to get over something without thinking about it? Like, because here I am all ready to talk about my horseback riding experience, and yalla, get me shaking and let me shake it out. But you don't want that.
No, I don't want that. I don't want to talk. I don't want to activate because when you talk about it, you're gonna activate the nervous system.
Right.
I'm trying
and
to
I'm gonna
regulate
get
nervous
scared
system.
again.
Yes. So I'm gonna release it from the source. It's like when you have the laptop, you have virus, so you get the antivirus. So you're gonna delete it. You don't have to know where file.
Or just delete it.
You just delete it.
This is really intriguing, honestly. Okay, so the music you choose is not something you want to activate the relaxation to go into the subconscious. You want them to stay in the conscious.
Yes, stay in the conscious.
In the here and the now.
Here and now, yeah. And because also it's going to be fun music for most of the people.
But how do you activate the tremors, the shaking?
After we tighten the muscle.
You tire the muscle.
Yeah, tire the muscle, not that much. We say 7 out of 10. And
so there's specific exercises.
Specific exercise, specific muscle, and then the shaking happens. So I encourage it. It's like, okay, let's start this. Yeah.
So what time can I come to your next session?
Okay, yeah. Just
Mr.
visit me
Modia.
and we can do it. Yeah. And also, I want to add something very important. It's a self-practice tool.
Okay.
So you learn it with me a
And
couple
then?
of times, and when you feel confident that you can do it by yourself, I encourage you to do by yourself and tell your friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because-
Okay, so it's not something long term where I
No.
have to like be a member
No,
and continuously do it.
No.
So it's something I learn and then I do on my
And
own.
then keep continuing by yourself.
So it's similar to those relaxation techniques with breathing.
Yes.
So you go to the expert, they teach you how to breathe. So when you have a situation, you just practice it yourself.
Yes.
You don't have to go back to your
Yes.
expert.
And also, it doesn't have to that you have stress now to shake. You're gonna continue shaking, okay, every week, and then you're gonna release all this trauma and stress that stay in your body. Sometimes it's transgenerational trauma that you inherited from your grandfather. If your grandfather,
You know, that's so fascinating because now they're researching and showing that trauma is actually inherited. From generation to the
and you
generation.
can pass it to other generations.
To other
also.
generations. So we really need to work on ourselves.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's gonna
It's
keep
gonna-
going.
yeah.
And they won't know what their problem is.
Yes.
Oh, wow, this is just
And you think, oh, this was because all my family like this, I have to
I'm
be like
like
this.
that.
All my family is angry. I have to be angry. This is my destiny.
Yeah.
It's not your
It's
destiny.
my past, so it's gonna be my destiny.
Yeah,
خلاص,
yeah,
هي كده.
yeah.
No, I think quality of life is really a priority.
Right.
And if we want to have a quality of life, we have to let go of those things.
Yes.
Yeah, let
Sometimes
that
we-
just
yeah.
stop there.
Right.
Interesting.
And it's introduced you to a new feeling, really, TRE.
Yeah.
People maybe they wondering what's the benefit of it. Most of people, they report that they have a deep sleep or deeper sleep.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Interesting.
you're more relaxed and very fast. You're gonna sleep very fast. Before
I know.
I took
You know,
2
for-
hours before I sleep.
Yeah, I
I
used to.
Google all the disease, all the like, cancer symptoms, and
Yeah. Your mind is going.
Yeah.
You know what I do? I don't sleep easily.
Yeah.
I have to take like a sleep aid, and then I do sleep. But then my subconscious mind wakes me up every morning with something that I don't want to think about, like the deepest, darkest fear. For example, my son is in university, so I'm afraid of like school shootings if I hear something on the news.
Right.
But I don't think about it all the time. But in the middle of the night, I'll wake up thinking,
Yes.
is he okay? I have to text him.
Right.
Is something wrong? يعني something ما يجي في بالي. But
Yes.
it's in my subconscious
It's a wandering mind.
wandering, and it
Yeah.
wakes me up at
Right.
night. So
Yes.
I'd love to have decent deep
Yeah,
sleep.
you're gonna have deep sleep and very fast.
Really? Oh, I'm looking forward to this. So what other things can you help treat? Do you do like speech impediments, speech therapy, kind of other things?
We help to reduce the nervous system. So this is like the backbone of the problem, most of our problem.
Like stuttering?
Yeah.
Or any kind of speech impairment
Stuttering
is...
sometimes it came from trauma also.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and we reduce the nervous system and we undo this, the cause of it. Maybe this is gonna help. I'm not sure, I didn't work with these people, but I work with people with PTSD, people with veterans came from war, work with people in addiction, and they help them also. People
Interesting.
being also, in situation that, they couldn't cope with it.
They
that
can't
time.
cope with
Yeah.
the difficulty, like my horseback riding incident. They
Right.
could be that simple.
Yeah, motorbike accident. I have this one, and every time I pass by the area before I do TRE, I was.
You relive.
Yeah, I relive it and daydreaming. I renegotiate. I say, okay, if I didn't overtake this guy, I'm not gonna lose.
Yeah, we do that to ourselves, and it happened like years ago. But then you relive
Yes.
it, you renegotiate. I like
Yes.
that when you said renegotiate.
Renegotiate.
نرجع نراجع.
Yeah.
I should have done this. I should have done this.
Yes. And then after, like I release it, I don't feel it.
Oh,
I don't feel
really?
it. I pass by the place, it's like nothing.
Interesting.
So I detach the feeling, and it's happening automatically.
And I think people get substance abuse because they want to detach the feelings, so they use chemicals to help them
Right.
detach the feelings. But then it carries on to an addiction, and then they.
So because
It's a bad
they
cycle.
try to self-medicate themselves, so they reduce the stress. But they woke up the next morning, they're gonna.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Think it again.
So why we not try the core of the problem, which is the nervous system? If we reduce the nervous system, we're gonna reduce this addiction. And addiction is, a lot of people they are addict in their phone and their
Yeah, addiction can be
it's a behavioral
to food.
addiction. Yes.
It can be to your phone. It
Anything
can
you
be use excessively.
yeah, use excessively and give you temporary pleasure, and you keep doing it regardless of the consequences. This is addiction. Okay.
It's not necessarily drugs.
No, no, no,
it can
no.
be an addiction to anything.
An addiction for game.
Gaming.
Yeah, I saw people, they come for gaming, people, internet addiction, food addiction, gambling, all this behavioral addiction is it came from the nervous system. Because the nervous system, he want to release this tension by having this joy and relaxation.
It's trying to detach from the tension
You
by
know,
having joy.
But not to detach, they activate the parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
So it's like when you have, as I told you in the beginning, you cannot be angry and happy at the same time, or angry and sleepy.
Of course not.
Because two different
Different
systems.
systems.
So when they are stressed, they try to reduce the stress by increasing the endorphin and dopamine. So they're gonna suppress the stress. But if we, heal the stress or deal with the stress, we're not gonna have this craving for doing substance or
Right. So when we detach from that cause of stress or that trauma or that tension, then we automatically balance.
balance and calm. You don't need to, And sometimes you say, I'm not tafshan. So tafshan is a stress hormone also.
Really?
You are not, you don't feel the body and you are not here. So you feel tafshan. Always you want to do something.
Something. Yeah, because there's an anxiousness with tafshan. Like when I'm bored, there's an anxiousness, a need to do something. I
need
feel
to-
fidgety,
Yes.
wiggly. I want to do something, but I'm
Yes.
bored.
Yes, I'm bored because I need to play a game. I need to check my phone.
Okay.
I need to,
So if they do the TRE, then that.
You're gonna be more relaxed.
More
and
relaxed.
You don't know, you're gonna be more yourself. And also you can negotiate with everyone has some trait and trauma. So like for example, people pleasing. You have this urge, I wanna open the door, I wanna help everyone, and you're not helping yourself.
Yeah, because people pleasing is at your own expense, and
Yeah.
you're not really happy because you're not getting happiness from
Yes.
just being a people pleaser.
Yes. But this is your nervous system comfort zone.
It's an anxiety.
Yeah.
You're anxious to get approval from others.
Yes. But
So this will help it as well.
it's helped, It's helped me personally with the people pleasing traits. Yeah.
Nice.
Now,
I'm glad.
I'm-
People pleasing trait. How interesting is that?
And we have it a lot here.
We do have it a
Yeah.
lot because this is our culture. إنه عيب, you have to
Yes.
مجاملة لا على حساب نفسك.
على حسب نفسك,
Yeah, and then you're suffering.
But now you're gonna feel what you say and you say what you feel, and you're gonna do what you feel and you feel what you do.
This is amazing.
It's not gonna come from position of fear or nervous system activation or looking for approval, because you deal with that, unconsciously.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just want to walk out of here and go straight into one of your sessions,
Thank
really,
you, thank
honestly.
you,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm an anxious person. You know, I have trauma like the horseback riding incident, but I think that's just enough to get you off balance.
Yes.
We really need to work on even the small stuff and not belittle it.
No, yeah, because we forget. You forget that you've been embarrassed in school.
Oh God,
yeah.
don't take me to school.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we forget
so-
all that. We
Yeah.
forget that kid, she took your toy.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
all lingering though.
Yes. But it's still in our subconscious mind and our body. So
This
we
is
try
amazing.
it's
Wallah,
time
Mohammed,
to go.
It's time to go, really.
Yeah.
Well, talking about that, it's time to go. We're on our last minute. Is there any quick
Oh.
one thing you want to say to your
Okay.
listeners?
Yeah, thank you for all the listeners, and I hope everyone gonna try this TRE. Okay?
Definitely.
Either with me or if you're traveling outside, there is a TRE provider in 60 countries around the world now.
Is there a website?
There is a website, and you can go through my Instagram, TRE_Arabia, and then you're gonna find the official website for TRE Global, traumaprevention.com,
Nice.
and then you're gonna find provider by countries wherever you go, and you're gonna find it's only 60 countries, America and
That's
Europe.
plenty, though. It's good.
Yeah.
And inshallah, more and more. It's really
And
been...
here, my website is TRE Arabia. I'm a founder of TRE Arabia, and so my plan to expand this modality here started from Jeddah.
I am
And
very honored, Mohammed, to have you in the
Alhamdulillah.
studio. Wallahi, it's been a pleasure. And it's an intense conversation, but I see a lot of hope and a lot of hope for other people. And,
Inshallah, yeah.
so I want to create a group. Everybody's welcome to join me on my next TRE therapy with Mohamed Salah.
Yes, thank
Text
you.
us on Instagram.
Thank you,
We'll
thank
create
you.
it. Thank you. Thank you, Basim Al-Sahafi, for being our sound engineer. We had a wonderful time. Thank you to Mudathir for calling. And thank
Basim.
you to all the listeners. And that's it for today. Have a wonderful day.